Speak, fool. What is it now? Speak, fool. What is it now? Frostborn hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Ah, at last.
Our allied town is
No
under
one
siege.
orders me. What is it? Frostborn hungers. Tread lightly. At last. This is more like it.
Our allied town is
Frostborn
under
hungers.
siege.
No one. This is my at last. Frostborn hungers. What is
Our
it?
allied town is under siege.
This is more. Frostborn hungers. This is more. Frostborn hungers. This is more. Finally. This is more.
Our allied town is
At
under
last.
siege.
This is more. Frostborn hungers. This is more. No one orders people around. Frostborn hungers. At last. This is more.
Our allied town is under siege.
Finally. This is more. Finally. At last. Frostborn hungers.
Our allied town is under siege.
At last. Speak, fool. Finally. This is at last. Frostborn hungers. Tread lightly. What is it now? This is at last. Finally. No one.
Our allied town is under siege.
Finally. At last. Your pain shall be legendary.
Oh, good.
Speak, fool. Finally. No one orders me. This is more than
Our allied town is under siege.
at last. Frostborn hungers. At last. This is more than Frostborn hungers. At last. This is more like it. At last. This is more. What is it now? Tread lightly. Speak, fool. What is it now? At last. No one will
Our allied town is under
This
siege.
is more like it. What is it? Finally. Frostborn hungers. At last.
Our allied town is under siege.
This is more like it. No one orders me around. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn hungers. This is more. What is
Our
it?
allied town is under siege.
At last. Frostborn hungers. This is more. No one orders me. At last. Tread lightly. Frostborn hungers.
Oh,
What is it? Speak, fool. Finally. What is it? last. Finally. Frostborn hunger. Speak. This is more like it. At last. At last. Tread lightly. What is it? Fine. Tread lightly. At last. Fine. This is what is it? Tread lightly.
Not enough.
No one. At last. This is what. Tread lightly. At last. No one orders me. This is fine. Tread lightly. No one orders me. Frostborn hunger. Tread lightly. No one orders me.
Our allies' town is under siege.
Tread lightly. What is it? No one orders me. Fine. What is it? Speak, fool. No one orders me around. This is Frostborn. What is it? Speak, fool. Fine. Frostborn hungers. Finally. What is it now? Tread lightly. Frostborn hungers. What is it? No one orders me. What is it? No one orders me. What is it? At last. Fine. Frostborn hunger. Oh. Speak. Fine. Frostborn hunger. Tread lightly. This is what. At last. Speak, fool. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Your pain. At last. Finally. No one orders me. Speak. No one orders me around. Frostborn hunger. At last. Frostborn hunger. At last. This is more like fine. This is more like glory to the scourge. Speak. Tread lightly. This is for the Lich King. No one is me. Frostborn. This is tread lightly. Speak, fool. Speak, fool. Fine. This is more like it. Fine. Tread lightly. At last. No one orders me. This is more like Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool. At last. last. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. What is it now? This is more like it. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Frostborn hungers. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. This is more like it. At last. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Speak, fool. Finally. This is more like it. No one orders one. Frostborn hungers. At last. Frostborn hungers. This is what it is. Frostborn hungers. This is what it is. Frostborn hungers. This is what it is. Speak. Tread lightly. At last. Finally. What is it? Frostborn hungers. Tread lightly. This is what it is. Frostborn hungers. No one orders me. What is it? Speak, fool. This is what it is. Tread lightly. Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool. Finally. At last. This is what it is. Tread lightly. What is it? Finally. Frostborn hungers. At last. This is what it is. Frostborn hungers. Finally. Tread lightly. This is what it is. No one orders me around. At last. What is it? This is what it is. At last. This is what it is. Finally. No one orders me around. At last. Tread lightly. This is what it is. No one orders me. Speak, fool. At last. Frostborn hunger. Tread lightly. At last.
Under siege.
Frostborn hungers. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool. No one. At last. Frostborn hungers. Finally. This is more like it. At last. Finally. This is more love.
Our allies' town
last.
is under siege. More village is required.
This is more love. Speak, fool. At last. This is more love. No one understands. At last. Tread lightly. You will know endlessly. No one understands. Frostborn hungers. At last. Frostborn hungers. Glory to the scourge. Tread lightly. No one understands. Tread lightly. No one understands. What is it now? This is more. At last. This is more light. Speak, fool. What is it now? Speak, fool. Tread lightly. At last. Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool. At last. This is no one wants to. At last. No one wants to. This is more. At last. What is it now? Tread lightly. Fine. Speak. At last. Frostborn.
Our allies' town is under siege.
This is Frostborn. Tread lightly. At last. No one. This is Speak, fool. What is it now? Speak, fool. Tread. At last. No one. Speak, fool.
Our allies' town is under siege.
What is it now? Your name is there. No one orders me. Tread lightly. Frostborn hungers. This is more. Speak, fool. What is it now? At last. Frostborn hungers. At last. No one orders me. This is what what is it? Fine. Frostborn hungers. Speak. Tread lightly. What is it? Fine. At last. This is what. At last. Fine. For the Lich King. This is what. Frostborn hungers. At last. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Frostborn This is what we want. Frostborn hungers. At last. What is it? Tread. Finally. At last. What is it now? Tread lightly. Frostborn hungers. At last. Frostborn hungers. This is speak. Finally. At last. No one will believe. Finally. At last. Speak. This is more like it. At last. Frostborn hungers. Tread lightly. Finally. Frostborn hungers. At last. Finally. This is finally. Frostborn hungers. What is it now? Speak, fool. Finally. Frostborn hungers. This is more like it. What is it now? Finally. Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool. No one orders me. What is it now? At last. No one orders me. Speak.
Our allied hero has fallen.
This is
Our allied hero has fallen.
speak. Frostborn hunger. At last. Frostborn hunger.
Not enough.
What is it now? Tread lightly. What is it now? Speak. Finally.
Glory to the scourge.
Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. This is what Frostborn hunger. Finally. Frostborn hunger. No one will defeat me. What is it? Finally. Tread lightly. Speak for the Lich King. Tread lightly. What is it? This is more than Frostborn hungers. At last. Frostborn hungers. This is more than Frostborn hungers. Tread lightly.
Hello.
What is it? This is what Frostborn hungers. Tread lightly. No one will defeat me. At last. Speak. Frostborn hungers.
Forces are under attack.
What is it now? Speak. At last. What is it? This is what no one is around. What is it? Tread lightly. At last. This is what what is it? At last. Frostborn hungers. At last. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. This is tread lightly. No one orders me. Finally. What is it? Speak, fool. This is what finally.
You will not enter this one. Our allied hero has fallen. Not enough. Not enough.
Frostborn hungers. Your pain is legendary. Tread
Not
lightly.
enough. Not enough.
No one orders me. What is it? Speak. Frostborn hungers. Tread lightly. This is This is what
Allied hero has fallen.
What is it? Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Frostborn hunger. Finish. Your pain. Tread lightly. This is what Frostborn hunger.
Our allied town is under siege.
No one orders me. What is it? Frostborn hunger. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool. What is it now? Speak, fool. This is more like it. Ah, at last. What is it now? Tread lightly. Speak,
Inventory is
fool.
full.
What is it now? This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. Tread lightly. Finally.
More gold
No
is
one
required.
orders me around.
More gold
What is it now?
required.
Ah, at last. Speak, fool. Frostborn hungers. What is it now? Ah, at last. Frostborn hungers. No one
Take your
orders
time.
me
Look around.
This is more like it. Ah, at last. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Ah, at last. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Ah, at last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. No one orders me. What is it now? Finally. No one orders me. What is it now? No one orders me.
Our forces are under attack.
Speak, fool. At last. No one orders me around. What is it now? Tread lightly. This is what. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. At last. At last. Finally. This is what. At last. Finally. At last. For the Lich King. Tread lightly. This is what. No one. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. What is it? At last. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Speak. At last. What is it now? This is what. At last. Tread lightly. Speak. This is what. Frostmourne hungers. No one knows me around. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Speak, fool. At last. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. At last. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. This is at last. This is at last. No one orders me around. This is Frostmourne hungers. At last. Speak, fool. This is fine. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. This is more like it. At last. This is more like it. Speak, fool. What is it now? Frostborn hungers. This is what no one orders me. At last. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool. At last. Finally. Frostborn hungers. What is it? Finally. Tread my at last. This is more. Oh, my Frostborn hungers. Finally. This is more like it. What is it now? Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Frostborn hungers. No one orders me. What is it now? Finally. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Finally. What is it now? This is more like it. Frostborn hungers. No one orders me around. This is what at last. Finally. Frostborn hungers. Speak. At last. Tread lightly. This is more Frostborn hungers. At last. This is Frostborn at last.
Not enough.
What is it? Speak, fool. What is it now? This is it. At last. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. This is Frostborn hungers. Speak, fool. No one will. Speak, fool. Frostborn hungers. At last. This is
not enough now. Not enough now.
Tread
not enough.
No one.
Not enough.
Speak. This is at last. Finally. What is it now? No one orders me around. At last. Tread lightly. No one orders me. Tread lightly. No one orders me.
Not enough.
Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. No one orders me. What is it? No one orders me around. Tread lightly. What is it? Tread lightly. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. What is it? No one orders me. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Tread lightly. This is what is it now? Glory to the scourge. Finally. At last. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. No one must be around. Speak, fool. At last. This is what Frostmourne hungers. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. At last. What is it now? Speak, fool. No one orders me. Frostmourne hungers. Speak, fool. Finally. This is what at last. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? This is what at last. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. At last. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. This is what at last. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. At last. Tread lightly. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Finally. No one orders me around. What is it now? This is more like it. At last. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. What is it now? Speak, fool. Finally. At last. This is at last. This is what. No one orders me. Tread lightly. Speak. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hunger. What is it now? Speak. For the Lich King. No one orders me. Speak. No one orders me. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hunger. Speak. Not enough. Not enough. This is no one orders me. Frostmourne hungers. Now,
Our hero is fallen.
tread lightly. At last. This is more like it.
Our forces are under attack.
What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. At last. This is more like it. Tread lightly. At last. This is more like it. Finally. What is it now? At last.
Hello? More gold is required.
Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Finally. What is it? No one orders me around. Tread lightly. At last. No one is Frostmourne hungers. At last. Finally. Speak. No one.
Our allied hero has fallen.
At last. This is what. Speak. What is it? What is it now? Speak, fool. This is more like it. What is it now? Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. This is more like it. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally. What is it now? Speak, fool. Ah, at last. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Finally. This is more like it. Speak, fool. No one orders me.
Our hero has fallen. Our hero has fallen.
Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Ah, at last. What is it now? Speak, fool. This is more like it. Ah, at last. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. What is it now? No one orders me around. Speak, fool. What is it now? Finally. Ah, at last. Frostmourne hungers. Finally.
Take your time. Look around. More gold
No one
is
orders
required.
me around. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. Finally. Ah, at last. Speak, fool. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? This is more like
Our forces are under attack.
Speak,
Our allies'
fool.
town is under siege.
Frostmourne hungers. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Finally. What is it now? Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. What is
Our
it?
allies' town is under siege.
No one orders me. This is at last. Frostmourne hungers. At last.
Not enough.
Speak, fool.
Our allies'
No one
town
orders
is under siege.
This is no one orders me around. Frostmourne hungers.
Our allies' town is under
At
siege.
last. Glory to the scourge. Frostmourne hungers. At last. This is more like. Tread lightly. Speak,
Not enough,
fool.
man.
No one orders me around. Finally. Speak, fool. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? Speak, fool. Finally. No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. What is it now? No one orders me around. What is it now? No one orders me around. What is it now? Speak, fool. No one orders me around. What is it now? Tread lightly. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. What is it now? No one orders me around. What is it now? Speak, fool. What is it? Speak, fool. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. Tread lightly. Speak, fool. No one orders me around. What is it? Speak, fool. This is
Not enough.
Tread lightly. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. What is it now? Glory to the Scourge! Tread lightly. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Finally. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. Frostmourne hungers. This is more like it. No one orders me around. What is it now?
Not enough.
No one orders me around. What is it now? Finally. At last. Tread lightly. Frostmourne hungers. At last. No one orders me around. This is more like it. Tread lightly. Finally. This is more like it. What is it now? At last. This is more like it. Finally. At last. Finally. At last. Frostmourne hungers. Tread lightly. This is more like it. No one orders me around. Speak, fool. What is it now? No one orders me around. Tread lightly. Speak, fool.